Whether you're through hiking or just spending a night outdoors, this gear list covers 39 items that let you do pretty much anything. I divide my entire gear list into 5 categories. Clothing, the big 4, which are shelter, sleeping bag, sleeping pad and backpack. Cooking, electronics, and other stuff like repair kit, toothbrush and toilet paper. Today I will show you my current gear list, but the core components always stay the same and you can easily swap out individual items to suit your needs. As long as you have got everything you need with you, it doesn't matter how expensive or cheap each piece of gear is. What matters is that it works. For example, it doesn't matter which exact fleece you bring. What's important is simply that you have some kind of insulating mid-layer with you. We need something to carry our gear, something to sleep on, something to keep us warm and something to protect us from the elements. That's the big 4. Depending on your route, the ideal backpack size can range from 40 to 60 liters. A good standard size that works for almost every situation is 50 liters. My current main pack is 50 liters ultralight frameless and I use it on pretty much all my trips. To protect against rain, I use a so-called liner. Basically, that's a large waterproof dry bag that fits inside the backpack to keep everything dry. I also usually carry a chest bag where I store my drone. When I'm not taking my drone, I leave the bag at home. You will need some kind of shelter. My go-tos are tents, tarps, and sometimes hammocks. If you want to keep things as simple as possible, I recommend going with a tent. That's by far the most beginner-friendly and easy to use shelter. I've linked a few tents I've got good experiences with below the video, along with my standard tarp. I almost always use inflatable sleeping pads because they are lightweight and pack down small. 3 pads I regularly use are the Nemo Tensor All Weather, Thermarest NeoAir XLite and the big Agenes Rapide SL. These are 3-season pads, super versatile and suitable for nearly everything. I usually go with the wide versions for more comfort. These are the ones I've slept on most often and I can fully recommend all of them. If you have seen my hiking videos, you will know that my standard sleeping bag is actually a Quilt, the ultralight version from Zenbivy. I'm still super happy with it and I plan to keep using it. Since I regularly test budget gear, I will also include some affordable and solid alternatives in the video description so you can mix and match and put together your own custom list. I divide my clothing into 2 groups. Clothes I wear while hiking and extra clothes I carry in my backpack. Of course, it depends a lot on how warm the trip will be, but the following items I almost always bring with me. Synthetic underwear. Socks. On longer trips I usually use toe socks and a sun hoodie. Shorts, mostly something like board shorts or lightweight hiking pants. Trail running shoes. Currently I prefer Topo Athletics and Altra because of their wide toe box. A cap for sun protection and sunglasses. Trekking poles, either carbon fiber folding poles or aluminium telescopic poles. I use the telescopic ones especially when I'm hiking with a tarp since they let me adjust the height more precisely. The clothes I carry I break down into 3 categories. Extra layers to stay warm, rain gear to stay dry, and spare clothes to stay clean and dry. 4 extra layers I always carry are a fleece pullover, a down jacket, a merino neck warmer and a long underwear which I also use for sleeping. Rain gear. It always depends on the tour and the forecast. That could be a poncho or a rain jacket and rain pants or a combination of jacket, rain skirt and umbrella. And finally my 3 pieces of spare clothing, a shirt, underwear and a pair of socks. In colder seasons, additional layers like gloves, a hat, a thick base layer and even gaiters might be necessary. But these 8 to 10 core layers I always pack and those are my standard. My go-to cooking kit is super simple, lightweight and made up of just 6 items. A gas canister, a gas stove, a lighter, a titanium pot, a spork and a small cloth. If you want to save a bit of money, you can swap the titanium pot for a stainless steel one. In addition to the gas stove, I also occasionally use alcohol stoves. But especially if you're just starting out, the gas stove is probably the simplest option. All you really need is a headlamp, a power bank and a charging cable. I use Nightcore power banks, either 10,000 or 20,000 milliamp. On longer hikes, I'd recommend bringing a fast charger to make the most out of short charging opportunities. Additionally, I always bring these 8 items. An inflatable pillow, hygiene kit with toothbrush and toilet paper, shovel for digging cat holes, sit pad, water bottles, trash bag, small repair and first aid kit, 2 packing cubes, one for food and one for spare clothes and other small items. Optional extras that I don't always bring but can be super useful are a water filter, the before mentioned fast charger and a small towel. Like I said, this is a solid base gear list that covers nearly everything you will need. I've linked all the gear in the description. I hope you found this helpful and I see you in the next one.